Everyone hates chess cheaters, but sometimes it is so obvious that someone is cheating that it is extremely funny. About a month ago, I got challenged in the comment section of one of my TikTok videos. The TikTok video was about the wayward queen attack and why it was bad. This guy was telling me, no, this opening is really good. And not only that, but I bet I could beat you with it. That's quite a big claim considering I'm 3 times his elo. However, I accepted the challenge. He then proceeded to play at 98.7% accuracy and didn't make a single mistake. Let's go through this game and stay tuned for the wildest excuses and justifications I've ever heard. For now, let's go through this game. So the game starts as normal. E4, E5, and Queen H5. The wayward queen attack attempts to attack the E-pawn, get a bishop in, and threaten the scholar's mate. I played the most principled response, which is knight c6. He goes for bishop c4. We have g6, queen f3, knight f6, and now knight e2. So this is the best way for white to play because it stops anything on the d4 square. And if a knight were to get to the d4 square, you have an attack on the queen and the threat of this fork. I just decided to fianchetto and castle. That was my game plan. So he goes d3, castles, develops his other knight, and now d6. So now the bishop will try to come out, maybe to d7, e6, or g4. He then plays a strange move, a3. Any 600 elo player just plays castles here, and it's not a bad move at all. It's the second best move, behind a3. So all a3 does prevents the knight from going to b4, and if the knight was on b4, it's the same fork. But whatever. I played the move bishop e6, trying to trade off the bishops like this, so that I have an open f-file and thoughts like d5. So we have bishop g5, h6, and now bishop takes knight. You cannot take like this, because after this, there's this move queen h3, which is a fork of both pawns. So instead of that, we have queen takes f6, and everything just gets traded. And in this position, try to guess what the 700 elo player played. Well, you are probably wrong. They played b4, which is the best move. b4 takes space on the queen side, and that's about it. Obviously, any reasonable person just takes the bishop here, because now the pawns are split, and the king is a little weak. But no, we have the move b4 here. I decide to trade because now his pawns are a bit weak, and now I just bring my rook to the center. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, 13 moves has passed. He has held on quite well. So now my plan is to play the move f5, gain some space on the king side, and try to harass the center. And let me ask you here, which way would you castle? Would you castle into the place with 3 pawns? Or would you castle long into this pawn structure? Obviously, you said long castle because you are stockfish and you are not a real human. Long castle is the best move here. Short castle is not bad at all. This is like the second or third best move. However, our friend decides he's too good for that and long castles. I guess you are putting your rook on the d-file. That is something, but you're not really pointing at anything right now. Here, there's like 1,000 good moves for black. I just decided to go with king g7, try to stabilize everything here. He jumps in with knight d5, and now I realize that my bishop kind of has to go to an awkward position. Bishop g5 check is an option, but kind of just give a free move for the king. So instead of that, I went with bishop d8, also defending the pawn here, of course. He plays king b2 anyways, and now I'm like, wow, this guy is quite good now. I'm very surprised. I mean, 600 elo, you'd think he'd already be dead lost, but look where we are. So I play f5 here. And of course, he follows up by sacrificing his pawn like this, which is, of course, the best move. Well, if you take this way, you have knight ec3. And the point is, you are now attacking this. And the reason you played rook hf1 is to defend the f-pawn. In a different scenario, let's say you played rook hg1, which isn't a terrible move, but it's not the best. You can take now, and if you try it this way, rook takes f2, and you're basically just down a pawn. As we all know, it's very typical for 600 elo players to spot this. I would have liked to take this way, but knight ec3 was there and I did see it. So my idea was to double up the rooks so that I could take this pawn. So now here he does decide to play e takes f5, g takes f5, and 18 moves have passed and the position is dead equal. There are about 10 good moves here for white. f4, wow. Trying to open up the board. If I do decide to take like this, his knight just gets in a very nice outpost. So here I play the move knight e7. I don't like the knight here, so I want to trade it off or play something like c6 in the future and also try to get my bishop to escape if I can trade off the knights. He then takes. I decide to take the knight first. C takes d5, d takes c5. And about here, I decide to write in chat that, hey, you're playing really well. For 600 elo, you've made it 20 moves in and the position is pretty equal, no? And that's when he told me something ridiculous. He wrote, and I quote, I know 20 moves of wayward queen attack theory. No one on this earth knows 20 moves of wayward queen attack theory. And I called him out. You see, I had a hunch he might be cheating, but I didn't want to accuse him. He could have just been playing really well. But no, he said that he studied this opening all the way until here. And that's how you know when someone has no idea what they're talking about when it comes to chess. The only way you learn 20 moves of any opening is if it's some very deep Najdorf Sicilian or the Ruy Lopez. There's no other openings where you have 20 moves of opening theory. Maybe the Queen's Gambit, but that's it. And I don't think wayward queen attack theory goes deeper than 10 moves, man. This is not a real opening. Anyways, the game continues. c4, taking more space. There's a billion good moves here. I just play bishop e7, trying to get my bishop to do something. c5, wow, look at his beautiful pawns and this chain, and he's just running into this wall. We had b6 and d6. So this guy is just trying to overrun me and create a pass pawn, which he has after c takes c6, c takes c6. I tried to take some space with bishop g5, but it's not that accurate. Of course, bishop f8 is just better. I guess the point is to try and win this pawn like this, but no. And in this position, what do you think he played? If you have 10 guesses here, you don't guess what he plays. What he plays here doesn't make sense. It just does not make sense. Instead of playing the logical rook d5, or the logical knight g3, or knight c3, or just moving this rook, he plays the move king b3, the best move. And at this point, this guy and I had gone into a bit of an argument because I started accusing him directly of cheating. He was cheating. And he was telling me, no, you're cheating. It's a bold claim. I play rook d8, just keeping eyes on the pawn. Now he goes for rook d5, targeting this. I wasn't too fussed with him taking that pawn because I know I would win this one. But I also didn't really know what to play. So I played this move h5, which isn't that great. And here, what does he play? What do you think he plays? Does he trade off like this? Does he play a move like rook fd1 so that if he takes this pawn is defended? No, obviously not, guys. He plays king c4. The king would like to just get involved and jump right in like this when you have a knight and a rook doing absolutely nothing. That makes sense. And by this move, my clock had gone low. And he had been playing every move in about 15 or 20 seconds. So I make my first real mistake, which is rook f6. A complete brain fart. This is terrible, because d7 is just free. And you have to go back with rook f7. It doesn't make any sense. And here, he is now winning. He is winning. Rook fd1. Makes sense. Only move. Here, you have to prevent the king from coming in like this. So a6. This is actually a great move. b5 makes sense. Of course, if this happens, the game's just over. So again, a5, only move, great move. And now, instead of, again, trading the pawns, he plays a4, locking up the position on the right. Why? Was he scared of a4? I have no clue. a4 does nothing. But okay, sure, a4, go ahead. Here I just decide to defend the pawn here. Somehow h4 is more accurate, but it really does not matter. Because I knew at this point that this guy was cheating. And if you don't believe me, watch till the end. So now he plays rook d6. And here I thought that the b pawn is lost. But again, I just forgot that I can take it like this. And here I did make my first blunder of king f8. The reason why king f8 is bad is he can now take this pawn. because after rook takes d7, rook takes d7, rook takes d7, there's now this, and the bishop is lost. I only realized when he took the pawn, so I played king e7, trying to save this game, but I knew it was over. Now he plays rook b d6, and I try to hold on. I mean, the next few moves, it's like watching a lamb get slaughtered. Rook ff8, king c5, and my position is just so cramped. It is great play, and if you know how Stockfish plays, you know that it loves just cramping and pushing the opponent out of the game. And here, all I can do is shuffle. I mean, rook b8, now he's trying to get his knights in. I don't know what to do, I just play h4, and he just gets to do this, and yeah. Yep, that is the game done. Trades off rooks, king d6, and here I resigned. I said, you know what, take your win. And I reported him on chess.com. So, what happened to his account? This is what happened. Closed for fair play immediately after he played me. And this guy, his collection of games is just so strange. Here he loses in 3 moves. I don't know why. He just resigns after 3 moves. He wins via Scholar's Mate here. Here he resigns in 1 move. I have no idea what he's doing. Loses in 7, wins in 5. What the hell is going on? And now I will show you the absolute clown show that ensued on TikTok. So we were already chatting on TikTok, of course. I asked him what his chess.com username was, and I told him that I sent him a request. He then said, I reviewed the game. You resigned when engine said it's mate in ... Now, if you paid close attention, you'd realize it said +11 for white when I resigned, not M in something. So maybe Stockfish was kind of weak, I have no idea. I then said I resigned because the position was lost and that I was playing an engine user. And he just kept accusing me of being an engine user, which is insanity, when it is so obvious that he was cheating. He then said, you really think you're a fair player? You were scared to lose to this opening, so you used an engine. You scumbag. Of course I was scared, and I totally didn't know how to play against the wayward queen attack. It's not like I have a full video on my YouTube channel about it. And I almost forgot to tell you, but he made this game rated. This guy made the game rated so that I would lose elo and he would gain 25 elo. But moments later, he got banned. And fair play to chess.com. They took like 2 minutes to respond. They immediately banned him. That does not happen on chess.com, okay? So what that means is their AI algorithm or whatever immediately recognized he was cheating. And without any need for human input, they banned him, which was obviously the right decision. He then proceeded to block me on TikTok. So the lesson of the story is don't cheat in chess. It is so obvious, guys. I know that a lot of people who are not as great in chess or they lack basic knowledge in chess think that they can get away with playing however they want because, oh, how will they tell, right? I could just be very good. It's very easy. We as humans could never compare to Stockfish, okay? Stockfish plays moves that humans cannot understand and cannot study. So if you, a human, were to play moves like that all day, you will get banned. Everyone will notice. No matter how sleek you think you're being, you will get noticed and you will get banned. And also, it is just far more satisfying to learn chess authentically and get better at it like that. Like, come on, guys, right? Like, chess is a hobby, chess is a game, chess is a sport, but most importantly, chess is fun. So why would you cheat in it? There is no benefit. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video and I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, and let me know if you had any other cheater encounters. That's all for now. Bye bye.